Since Manny Ramirez signed as a free agent with the Boston Red Sox, it has been quite the roller coaster, to say the least.
I'd rather be respected for being a good team than being known for having somebody with such an attitude on the team.
He's kind of been a bit of a jerk the last couple of years, and he's pulling the same trick like right before the deadline almost every year. So I say good riddance.
But essentially he said that Boston doesn't deserve a player like me.
Like I said, I'm happy to be here. You know, whatever happened in Boston, that's in the past. I'm just thinking blue right now, and I'm just here to have fun and enjoy the game.
It comes to the plate. Fastball goes young. Way back. Manny's being Manny. And the Dodgers lead.
It's like a dream come true, you know. I'm here in the Dodgers, and let's see what happens.
As spring turned to summer in 2008, everything seemed to be going right for the Boston Red Sox. The reigning World Series champs were jockeying for first place in the American League East, their pitching staff was dominating, and their star-studded lineup was one of the most dangerous in baseball. There was only one problem: a discontented Manny Ramirez. And the growing tension between the Red Sox and their longtime superstar ultimately precipitated one of the all-time trade deadline blockbusters, a deal that led to one of the most unforgettable stretch-run heaters in recent baseball history. There's no debate that Manny Ramirez is one of the greatest, most impactful, most indelible players in the history of the Boston Red Sox. The colorful slugger was an all-star in all 8 seasons he played for Boston. He inscribed his name all over the franchise's all-time leaderboards. And of course, he was an integral part of the 2004 team that reversed the curse of the Bambino and the 2007 championship squad that swept the Colorado Rockies in the World Series. However, he was also an enigmatic, often befuddling individual prone to head-scratching play on the field and some eyebrow-raising behavior off of it. Get this, according to longtime teammate Pedro Martinez, Manny once added a special ingredient to a pregame cocktail that the Red Sox took during the 2004 playoffs. That ingredient? Viagra. Yeah, Manny was truly one of a kind, for better and for worse. And for a long time, the Red Sox were cool with Manny being Manny. However, by the summer of 2008, the long and fruitful relationship between the Red Sox and the then 36-year-old Ramirez had officially gone sour. Ramirez was disgruntled from the get-go that season, which was the final guaranteed year of an $160 million contract extension that he signed in 2001. But that contract contained team options for both 2009 and 2010, valued at $20 million apiece. And Ramirez was very obviously frustrated by the fact that the Red Sox hadn't preemptively exercised those options and locked him in as a part of their future. And that frustration cast a pall over the first half of the 2008 campaign, a stretch in which Ramirez further alienated himself from the organization. Memorably, that June, Ramirez got into a dugout spat with teammate Kevin Youkilis in which the two had to be physically separated. And that same month, in perhaps the lowest moment of his career, Ramirez threw the Red Sox 64-year-old traveling secretary to the clubhouse floor over a dispute about tickets. And although Ramirez was performing well at the plate throughout it all, delivering all-star production as per usual, it was abundantly clear that Manny staying in Boston was not a tenable situation. Hell, as Ramirez himself told reporters that July, "I'm tired of them, they're tired of me." And he later remarked, "The Red Sox don't deserve a player like me." Manny was basically daring the Red Sox to trade him. But could Boston actually do it? As exasperating as he was, Ramirez was still a tremendous hitter. And as the trade deadline approached, the Red Sox were within spitting distance of first place in the AL East, with their sights set on a second straight World Series championship and their third in a 5-year span. Not to mention, Ramirez had 10-5 no trade rights. Basically, any deal the Red Sox were to make was subject to his approval. So as the July 31st deadline day unfolded, Ramirez's future was one of the big questions looming over the league. But, well, 2008 was a big year for stars getting dealt. Cleveland traded CC Sabathia to Milwaukee that July, Texas traded Mark Teixeira to the Angels, and believe it or not, in the final moments before the 4 p.m. deadline, the Red Sox traded away Manny Ramirez, shipping the franchise legend to the Los Angeles Dodgers in an epic 3-team blockbuster that also included the Pittsburgh Pirates. Here's how it went down. The Dodgers, a then long-suffering franchise that was at that point chasing down just their second division title since 1995, obviously got the big prize in Ramirez.
Like I said, I'm happy to be here. You know, whatever happened in Boston, that's in the past. I'm just thinking blue right now, and I'm just here to have fun and enjoy the game.
His remaining salary for 2008, by the way, was to be paid in full by the Red Sox, who, in exchange for Manny's approval, also agreed to remove the options from his contract, allowing him to become a free agent at season's end. Meanwhile, though, Boston received all-star outfielder Jason Bay from Pittsburgh, with the hope that the veteran could effectively replace Ramirez in left field. And for giving up Bay, the last place Pirates received 4 prospects, 2 from the Red Sox and 2 from the Dodgers, including one of baseball's most intriguing infield prospects in Andy LaRoche. It was a doozy of a deal. And remember, this was before the universal DH. So the Dodgers were going to have to rejig their lineup to accommodate, as manager Joe Torre described him, one of the 4 or 5 best hitters in baseball. But as it turned out, that was not a problem, because Ramirez was absolutely rejuvenated in Los Angeles, rediscovering his joy and his A-swing in one of the most incredible stretch runs baseball has ever seen. A run in which Manny Ramirez, wearing number 99, became the biggest star in Hollywood. In his Dodgers debut, in front of more than 55,000 fans at Chavez Ravine, Ramirez collected a pair of hits in 4 at-bats, bumping his average for the season over 300. It didn't dip below that mark again. The following night, Ramirez picked up 2 more hits, including his first long ball in a Dodgers uniform.
Petit looks at third, comes to the plate. Fastball is lifted to left center and deep. Back goes Young, way back. Manny's being Manny, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. Manny Ramirez and the crowd wants him to take a curtain call. Up the steps he comes, and he salutes the crowd right back.
It was love at first sight, and understandably so. In his first week as a Dodger, Ramirez hit .464 with 4 homers and 9 RBIs. Over his first month in LA, Ramirez hit .415 with 9 homers, 25 RBIs, and as many walks as strikeouts. His lapses in left field and on the base paths, the mini controversy over the length of his dreadlocks, it didn't matter. He was the star who was seemingly going to take the Dodgers back to the promised land. And he was adored. In fact, the Dodgers' average attendance increased by almost 4,000 fans per game down the stretch that season. And he just didn't stop raking. Seemingly, whenever the Dodgers needed a big hit, Ramirez was stepping into the box and Ramirez was coming through. Get this, on September 6th, Ramirez matched his season high with 5 RBIs in a 7-2 Dodgers win that gave them the outright lead in the NL West for the first time since the first week of the season. And thanks to Ramirez's continuing brilliance, the Dodgers were able to hang on to that division lead, with the 17-8 September propelling them to their first division title since 2004. Over the course of that month, Ramirez posted a .1218 OPS while launching 8 homers and driving in 28 runs. Put that all together and Ramirez's stretch run, those first 2 months in Dodger Blue, was one of the most extraordinary heaters in modern baseball history. Over the course of August and September, Ramirez hit .396 with a .1232 OPS. In 53 games, Manny hit 17 homers, just 3 fewer than he hit in 100 games with the Red Sox that season. It should go without saying that he was baseball's best hitter during that stretch, leading all qualified hitters in average, OBP, slugging, WRC+, and RBIs over the season's final 2 months. Hell, he was so good in those 2 months with the Dodgers that he finished 4th in National League MVP voting. It was, simply put, a historic run, one that made Ramirez a legend in Los Angeles. In the end, however, the Dodgers' pennant hopes went unfulfilled that year. Los Angeles got bested in the NLCS by the eventual World Series champion Philadelphia Phillies. However, the production and the good vibes that Ramirez generated over his brief time with the Dodgers made it exceedingly difficult for the team not to bring him back. And sure enough, the following spring, Ramirez and the Dodgers agreed to a 2-year, $45 million contract that would extend through his age 38 season. And the aging Ramirez remained remarkably productive over the life of that contract, although his relationship with LA eventually soured following a PED-related suspension. And his time with the Dodgers ended unceremoniously in 2010, with Ramirez getting claimed off of waivers by the Chicago White Sox. Still, that inglorious finish doesn't change the fact that for a time, Manny Ramirez was the brightest star in LA. He'll forever be remembered as one of the pillars of the Red Sox, but his brief, spectacular time with the Dodgers is nevertheless an essential chapter of Manny's singular career. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button.